Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with another battle report. So I brought out my Bretonnians in a battle for the past game against some Dark Elves. And there's a lot of terrain on the board, a lot of it's special terrain. Not much of it really affected a whole lot. The hills are obvious. There's a charnel pit in the upper right. Um, the woods on the right are normal woods. The woods on the left, if you move through it at all, you have to take a dangerous terrain test. And really anything else you see didn't really affect things a whole lot. So he's got both flanks covered with Dark Riders. Starting at the bottom here, he has a Coldwind Chariot, some warriors, 9 Coldwind Riders with his general. His general I know had the Ogre Blade. Other than that, I don't remember what he had. There's a Cauldron of Blood, Blackguard, more warriors, and now at the very, very top, there's another Coldwind Chariot and some crossbows behind him. He's got a level 4 and level 2, both with dark magic. So I got Peg Knights who vanguarded up. Starting at the right, the unit you can barely see is a big block of Knights Errant with the Infantry Banner. I've got 50 men-at-arms and anyway, 50 men-at-arms. Then I've got Knights of the Realm with my Battle Standard Bearer with a 2-up rerollable armor save. And then I've also got a Prophetess level 4 Lore of Life with Crown of Command with that unit. I've got a Grail Relique there in the woods, and I put my level 1 Lore of Beast Damsel with them. Oh, there's a close-up. On the other side of the woods, I've got Questy Knights, and then I've got Grail Knights. The Grail Knights I know have the banner of flaming attacks. At the very top, I have 20 bowmen. So this is just another angle of his side. That's his Vanguard move. He did not Vanguard with his other Dark Riders. And we go to Dark Elf turn 1. So he moves up, as you can see here on the left. He didn't Vanguard with this unit because he wanted to be able to charge my Pegasus Knights. And I thought they could probably hold up to that. I'm hoping I can beat him this round and then have a charge on my turn against that Coldwind Chariot. But we'll see how that goes. If you look at his Coldwind Knights, he moved through the woods and he lost 1 through the dangerous terrain test. I think his initial plan was just to walk through the woods so we wouldn't have to take that test. And then once we found out that it was a venom thicket, which is what I think it is called, he decided just to march him anyway, and he ended up losing 1. So 1 out of 10 isn't bad odds. It's actually, on average, slightly better than you would expect. Here on the right-hand side, well, you can see how I moved. He's hesitant to take his Blackguard through the venom thicket. I don't blame him. I think he did either this turn or next and end up losing a guy to it. So anyway, after combat here, he puts a wound on me. I kill a couple of his guys, and I win, and he sticks around. So we go to Bretonnian turn 1. And, you know, here on the bottom, I really didn't want to move up. One, I have him outranged. I've got longbows and I've got a trebuchet. I didn't read off the trebuchet before, I forgot, but it's at the very, very right-hand side. So I've got him outranged, so I'm just going to let him come to me and just try to maneuver my guys so that I get, you know, favorable charges. Up at the top, my plan originally was to shoot at the Dark Riders with my bowmen, and then I was thinking that I didn't want my Grail Knights stuck in combat with his Blackguard, and that was beginning to worry me. I was planning on taking my Questy Knights to my left to help out with all the other knights, and maybe get into it with the cold ones. And these guys can't flee a charge. I just wanted to get them out of the way. So I felt they could make this, and it kind of gets them way to the right. I think I can win this easily, reform. I'm out of his charge reach, I think, and I could line up a charge against his chariot and maybe swoop behind his lines. So that's kind of what I was thinking here. Otherwise, that's how the board looks. The trebuchet works out beautifully. I think trebuchets, when they hit, are just devastating. So his big unit of Blackguard, I think he had 20, is now down to 9. Just brutal. Brutal, brutal. And that's, by the way, is with the Cauldron of Blood. It had the 5-up ward save on him, and I figured it was still worth it to go against him. So this time around, we killed a couple more Dark Riders, and he put 1 more wound on me, but I win. And I choose to restrain, 1, because it takes some Snake Eyes to rally, so I don't really need to chase him down. And 2, I didn't want to get any closer to his troops. I didn't think overrunning was going to give me a charge into the chariot, and I want to be as far away as possible so when he charges me I can flee and get away from him. So over here, I think obviously I lost one Grail Knight, and I don't know if I lost that in combat or if I lost it as a dangerous terrain test when charging over that wall. Either way, I win and turn to face his lines. And again, I'm not really looking to charge any of those ranked up infantry in the front. What I'd like to do is take out that chariot and then just swoop behind his lines, maybe mess with his crossbows or something. So we go to Dark Elf turn 2. So he declares a charge with his cold ones to my questing knights, obviously. And I was looking at it, and I think he needed a 9 to make it. And with 3 dice, it's actually pretty good odds. And I was sitting there just calculating the odds in my head and just really thinking to myself, you know, if I get lucky, I might be able to be steadfast. So anyway, so he had to take several dangerous terrain tests, and he fails 2 of them, which is slightly more than odds, but again, last time he was slightly under odds. So I think overall, whatever. But I was really, you know, when he came in, I was hoping either that he would do 3 wounds or less on me, or that I would at least do 3 wounds on him. Either way, I would stick around and be able to countercharge with my Grow Relique. So I decided just to chance it rather than fleeing that. Over here, his warriors declare a charge to my Grill Knights. I think he needed a 9 there as well. He didn't get it, and I was very happy to see that. So these warriors declare a charge into my men-at-arms. They fail it. The Cold One Chariot charges my Peg Knights, and I flee. And I think they're yelling, run away, right there. So this is a view after combat. Thank goodness for that Battle Standard Bearer. Obviously, he killed 4 of my guys, not 3. And really, I think, I don't know what the odds are there. I think he should have killed 3 or 4, and he got 4. I was really hoping that I could knock off another one of his, but I only killed 2. I was not steadfast. I needed a 5. And with my Battle Standard nearby, I got the 5, which was absolutely devastating to his plans, I'm sure. The problem with charging a unit like that forward like he did is they're totally unsupported. So, you know, if he had won, it probably would have worked. He would have gotten behind my lines. There's really not a whole lot I could have done, and he really could have wreaked havoc. But as it is, it's going to set up a countercharge. So there's another view. So we go to Bretonnian turn 2. So I go ahead and declare a charge here. Now, technically, we're both actually angled more towards the side of the board. It's just that piece of terrain doesn't really allow for it. But we had agreed before the game that we wouldn't really count those upright rocks as blocking anything. So my plan was to charge him and then overrun and get off the board, which would have been great, except that I forgot in Battle of the Past you can't go off the board. You stop an inch away from it on the sides. So regardless. So my Grail Relique charges into the flank of his Coldwell Knights. I don't really expect to do too many wounds, but I'll have a charge, a flank, and 3 ranks. And so with all that, I'm really hoping to beat him by enough to break him. And I plan, you know, I'm going to lose some more knights here, but it shouldn't be too bad because he doesn't get the rerolls that hit, and he doesn't get the lance bonus that he had on last turn. So I really only think, you know, if I lost 4 last time, maybe I'll only lose 2 this time, and maybe 3. But anyway, that's what I was thinking. I love that Grail Relique models. Over here, the Peg Knights rally, and since they're fast cav, I marched them by flying them back up. The reason I'm in a weird line like they are is because if I put them side by side, the chariot could still see them. And I just really wanted to get out of his charge arc. And, you know, there's just a lot of things I can do up there. But if nothing else, I just want to keep them alive for a turn or 2. I don't need them. I've got a lot of heavy hitters on this side of the board. So after combat's over, I lost a lot more knights than I was expecting to. I think I had 5 left. I lost just as many knights this turn as I had lost last turn, which I was very disappointed to see. But the champion was locked in a challenge and won it. And then with all the combat res, I forgot what he needed, but whatever it was, he didn't roll it. And the lone remaining champion ran down his unit. So right there, he lost his general and a pretty expensive cavalry unit. And devastating turn of events for the Dark Elves. The Grill Knights easily beat the chariot and again tried to run off the board but kind of bounced off of it. And we go to Dark Elf turn 3. So here at the bottom, these warriors charge again, and again they fail their charge. It's unfortunate that's happening, but they're all really long charges. So now what that means is I'm going to easily get a double charge with my knights in that unit, and they are going to be toast. He pulled his mage out of the unit, and that's a huge mistake because I have my peg knights to the left of the screen who can easily charge her. And I'm sure I don't know, he just missed it. Yeah, they're my peg knights. So, he brings his chariot back, but the chariot's not going to be able to chase down my knight. I can just fly wherever I want. I'm not going to fly into the cauldron of blood. I've done that before, and that doesn't turn out well. His blackguard charged the Grill Relique. I decide to run away, and so now he's vulnerable. I still got 20 archers shooting at him. I've got a trebuchet if I want that can shoot. So this side of the board, I'm really just willing to for the most part, give up. What I'd like is for that Grill Relique to flee even again back towards my edge of the board, so that by the time he gets to me, I can have some knights come around and help out there. So over here, he just reforms. There's really not a ton of things I can do. My guys are 1 inch away from the edge of the board. I don't even think that allows me room to wheel, so it's just kind of a hassle. During the magic phase, he kills 2 more of them with his level 4. We go to Bretonnian turn 3. I get the dual charge off. I just love the look of that. That's just for me. That's the joy of playing Bretonnians, is the look of a double charge. Really not worried about that combat. These guys charged the mage. She fled. They caught her. So his level 2 is gone. So I do a reform. I couldn't wheel with my Grail Knight, so I do a reform, and then I fail my swift reform test. So on his turn, he's going to pretty easily get that charge in there and probably wipe out my Grail Knights. I guess, I think them taking out his fast cav and his chariot, I think they got their points back. If not, they almost did. If they get their points back and they take this unit all the way at the side of the board so that he can't really use his things in tandem and contribute to the main fights, I guess I could kind of feel good that the Grail Knights did their job. Regardless, that's what the board looks like. I'm still shooting at the Blackguard, killing a couple of them. After combat, yeah, these guys, they were just toast. So, well, actually what happened is that unit broke, and I easily ran them down. And we go to at that point, my opponent just conceded. Basically, I've got this whole side of the board that's mine. The left side of the board is mine. The right side of the board, if he takes his warriors to my Grail Knights, he can get points there. But otherwise, his Blackguard are awful lonely. His crossbows aren't going to hold up to much. And so by the time we get in combat, those Blackguard will be whittled down to where there's nothing left. I'm going to easily kill them off, we both believe. And I have the game, and if we quit now, we both have time to get in other games. So we called it right there. So, some things really would have turned around if the Cold One Knights with his general would have actually broken the questing knights. But I don't know. I mean, it's often dangerous to charge a unit out ahead where there's no support anywhere. So it was a good gamble on his part. It didn't pay off, and I think it really turned the tide of the rest of the battle. So regardless, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed it.